Oh, we live and we lit. Jesus. Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans. And of course, Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan, episode 173. Beautiful day today in Atlanta. Chase is in the building. T-Will is here in the building. It's a lot going on. We have a lot to talk about. So let's go around the table. Chase, how you doing over there, brother?
What's going on, guys? Terry, what's up? Jack, what's going on, brother? Another day to talk some Atlanta Falcon football. Doing pretty good. A lot of rumors going around, a lot to talk about today. I don't want to give any spoilers alert of what we'll be talking about, but a lot to talk excuse me, a lot to talk about today with these Atlanta Falcons. Terry, pass it on over to you, dog.
Yes, sir. Chase, how you doing? And first off, I love the hat, man. I'm digging that hat. I might have to see if I can't locate me one of those.
He'll sell you one.
This is a gift. Yeah, this is a Christmas gift. Appreciate it.
I do like it. I like the hat. Yeah, man. How's it going, Jack? You all right?
Doing good, feeling great, man. Chase definitely comes with some exclusive Falcons gear. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, man.
He stays lit with that Falcon gear. He posted one time. He was in like some mountain area. He had like this Falcons Christmas stitched sweater that was just like, I ain't see that one online, Chase. Where you get that one from? But that shit was hitting. Shit was hitting. Chase,
the drip is real.
Give us a little insight on the Falcons drip, man. Where you get your drip? How you stay so dripped in Falcons gear? Is it just like a wake up in the morning like I'm gonna drip like this? Nah, you know what? I'm gonna drip like this. How hard is it a decision, Chase, to drip as much as you do with Falcons gear?
Bro, I'll be 100% honest with you. My wardrobe in my bedroom, about 80% of my clothes are Falcon clothes. That's daily t-shirts, like t-shirts I wear to Walmart and wherever I go. I got a couple of dress shirts, but as far as, my Falcon swag, like Falcons always drop fire merch in the wintertime. It's always got fire hoodies.
Hell yeah.
Fanatics is a good spot to catch some Falcon merch. Also Target in Atlanta. Anytime I go to Atlanta, I hit the Targets. They got some pretty nice stuff. But man, yeah, I'm 100% Falcon clothed down pretty much everywhere I go.
Hey, it's big when you got Falcon fans who do stuff like that. Shout out to all the diehard Falcon fans. There's a fan named Joe Allen. Most of y'all know Joe Allen. Like, Joe Allen doesn't play. He will drive wherever it is to go get Falcons gear. And there are some fans who just love the drip. Like you said, Chase, the Falcons drop some crazy merch in the wintertime. And, of course, even throughout the year, if you catch a deal here and there, they might throw some online on a Tuesday. You might say, oh, shit, let me jump on that. You go back next Tuesday, where'd the shirt go? I couldn't find it no more. So you got to get involved with that. Terry, I told you a little spot, and don't say it now. I told you a little spot where, I was the other day, and I said, well, where all this Falcon stuff come from? So, man. We loading up right now for the offseason. It's good to load up, man, because when the season starts, Chase, that shit gets a little pricey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a guy named Eric Parker who's got lots of Falcons drip, man. So shout out to BLB, Big Little Brother. For those of you who don't know, that is my 6'3", 6'4" little brother, and I'm the 5'9" big brother. That's right, I said it, 5'9".
BLB. Falcons fans.
So yeah,
This is great.
As a matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird, but I think one time, maybe not today, but another time, I'd like to get into superstitions. Jack, you and I talked about that because my brother has this superstition where if they lose 2 games in a jersey that he bought, he's not wearing that jersey again.
I've heard Eric say something similar to that
Not,
too.
he's not doing that again, which is weird because if you know anything about him, those he wears jerseys. They're not cheap, man.
Eric wears jerseys to training camp. Where I'm looking over there like, Eric, it is 100 degrees out here. How are you in that jersey just so freely, just not dropping a sweat at all?
Not at all. Not at all. I don't know.
Die-hard Atlanta Falcon fan Eric Parker. You know what, big little brother? We might have to get Eric on this podcast soon.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know Eric wants to talk Falcons football because we talk Falcons football every day. Hell, I was just talking to Eric 5 minutes ago about Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Sheesh. Got a lot to talk about tonight. Falcons fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We're going over here straight to the chat. False Start Falcon is in the chat. He's already throwing up the one for the emoji. He's a one-timer. He knows how we get down. He knows how we rock here on One Time for the Fan. Dexter is also in the chat too as well. He's having a good time. Die-hard Atlanta Falcon fan. James Dockery, you know he's checking in from where? From Kentucky. Because every time James drops in the chat, he always says, hey, rise up from Kentucky. Falcon fans, we have fans all over the world. Not just One Time for the Fan supporters. Fans of the Falcons, like all over the world, right? Like Australia, Chase, Germany, England, Sweden. Am I missing anywhere? There's some places. Hawaii, right? And then, of course, you know, here in Atlanta, too, as well. Show some love. Hashtag the fan club. Hashtag one-timers in the chat, too, as well. For all of our giveaway winners, you should be receiving your gifts in a matter of days. So that's going to be feeling good for you all, too, as well. So you guys can't beat that. You see a random package at the door. Don't tell the mailman, no, that ain't for me. Because you're getting a random package. Make sure you get that package. Right? Jordy Shepard, Sterling Woods, Carlton Bunch, Cindy Schweingruber, and of course Diane Markham. Big shout out to Diane. She chose the Jesse Bates jersey too as well for her first place prize.
Nice.
So big shout out to Diane Markham. Big shout out to all the winners of the One Time for the Fan giveaway. Carlton Bunch is here in the chat too as well. No, he's ready to talk some Falcons football. There he is right there. Eric Parker. He's in the chat, ready to talk the Falcons football. Mateo.
What's up, BLB? What's up, Mateo? BLB, what's up?
Lit. Look at this. Fans in the chat. Feels to ATL. All this internet talk. Rumors. We will talk about tonight. Rumors. Lisa Shepard is in the chat. Said, okay, Chase.
Hey, Lisa.
Way to rep. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you're in the chat, drop your comments, drop your questions. We talk Falcons football with everybody. Tag your Falcons friend. Tag your Falcons family member. Bring them in here. Let's all talk Falcons. Hell, by the end of the podcast, you might go buy some season tickets if you're not a season ticket holder. Joe Allen is really Freddie the Falcon. Jesus Christ. That was not the Freddie the Falcon. No.
He started early.
Joe Allen, man.
Started early.
Joe! I'm down here getting autographs. That's my boy Joe Allen, man. He's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. Doesn't matter what the Falcons are doing, he's going to represent the Falcons. You can see it from his social media. We'd love to get Joe Allen on the podcast. I wonder if Joe Allen is a podcast guy. You know, he's a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, season ticket holder for, I think, close to 30 years. Like, come on. Mateo said, hey, I'm the BLB too. A lot of BLBs here in the chat. Sterling Woods said, what's going on, people? Shout out to Sterling Woods in the chat. Sherman Webb is in the chat. Falcons fans, you're checking in from Facebook. Let's head on over to YouTube. Let's hit the like. Let's hit the share. Let's hit the subscribe button. We want to go ahead and get to 1,000 followers. We're very close. We're at 640 something right now. We're moving. We're on the way up. Fans really like One Time for the Fan. I don't know if it's because of the giveaways. I don't know if it's because of the special guests. I don't know if it's because we bring like dope ass content, or we're so cool with like the Falcons community content creators, or, you know, like you guys see us on the road hanging out, like, you know, doing what we do. I don't know if it's because of the Rise Up tour. I don't know, just because we just be real about this shit. Like, we are diehard Atlanta Falcon fans, and this is what we do 24/7 outside of taking care of our families and working. and whooping people on Madden. Chase, you know how I get down. We talk Falcons football.
You're going to get your win. We ain't ran it yet.
Man, Chase, man, this 2023 talking 2024.
I got to get updated, man. I got to get updated.
Come on, Chase. I'm ready for you, man. Falcon fans in the chat, you play Madden. I'm ready for you. Just send it. Just know I play with the Falcons, and I'm not playing Falcon on Falcon. We don't do Falcon on Falcon violence. We don't do that. What I look like sacking Desmond Ridder or sacking Taylor Heineke? What I look like doing that? Absurd. What I look like getting a pick on my team? Like, yeah, I just picked Ridder, pick 6. How's that look? I will show you me in different Madden chats where I will jump into the chat. Hey, y'all, Falcons available? Nah, pick another team. All right, y'all, see y'all later. If it ain't the Falcons, I ain't playing with them. I don't want the Rams. I don't want the Titans.
Yeah, I don't use nobody else.
We don't do that, man. We don't do that. Sherman Webb said, Rochester, New York, let's go. Look, we got New York checking in.
Shout out.
We got New York checking in. James Dockery said, yo, any chance of me popping on here for a minute? James, you know, we love to have you on the show as a guest. If you want to be a part of this guest, that'd be great. So we can reach out to you, James, and, you know, we'll talk some Falcons football in the chat, and then we can see how we can get you on the podcast. The Falcons fan talk is always good. We have fans here in the chat who's been on the podcast, right? And then we also have, you know, diehard Atlanta Falcon fans who will be on the podcast
I was
coming
once in the chat. I was once in the
Chase
chat.
was once in the chat from draft night to everywhere, but we already knew that Chase had that drive to not only talk Falcons football, but he's just a passionate fan. You see it in Chase. You see him at the games. No matter what he's doing when he's talking Falcons football, it's always about positivity when it comes to the Falcons, and that's what we love here. Terry, you know that too as well. We love the positivity, being Falcon, not only content creators, but diehard fans as well. Dirty Fanatics United is in the chat. Chase, your team is in the chat. Dirty Fanatics United. Chase has a great podcast over there called Dirty Fanatics United. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're at, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Where is he at? Right? No, what the fuck? There he is. Right over here. Dirty Fanatics United. Hit him up. They're trying to get to close to. We're all trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because it's free.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. 1K to go.
Lisa Shepard, Germany and Canada Falcons fans stay repping. Oh, you already know. You already know. Sterling Woods said, no, I'm getting that package. I know Sterling Woods ain't sent delivery. Sterling Woods ain't finna, nah, that ain't me. That's Sterling Woods package right there. You're going to enjoy it, Sterling. Everybody who's a winner, when you guys get your package, you know, if you want to post it, say thank you to One Time for the Fan, tag us, Twitter, YouTube, wherever. You guys can jump in the chat and say something. Once you get your package, your swag, or, you know, your giveaway gift, you know, just hit us up. Tell us a big thank you and shout us out. Wallace Smith said, what's going on, fellas? Big shout out to Wallace Smith, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan. Mateo said, Rich McKay is now Freddie the Falcon. Jesus Christ.
Shit.
Jesus Christ. Don't tell me he stepped down to be Freddie. Sheesh. Eric Parker said, Joe Allen is a super fan. There's diehards, and then there's super fans.
Yep.
Facebook user said, one time with Justin Fields to the A. We've been talking about it here on the podcast. We don't want people to jump in here and say, oh, one time called it first. No, we didn't call it. You know, I think the Falcons have been doing their due diligence, not only on Fields, but some other people we're going to talk about here shortly. John Moreno said, good evening, guys. Who's going to be the quarterback for the Falcons coming this season? We're going to talk about that. Terry.
That's the question.
That's the question.
This thing is, you know, literally, I heard 3 different rumors about 3 different quarterbacks today alone. You know, it's
rumors, you say?
It's rumors. I mean, all over the place. I mean, it's, you know, I feel like, I don't know. It's probably going to continue up into the draft, but, you know, Peter Schrager from NFL Network thinks the Falcons are the number one trade destination for Justin Fields, right? Heard another rumor today where Russell Wilson, Falcons are the number 1 destination for him once Denver tells him to, you know, kick rocks. Yeah. And I also heard that Kirk Cousins is maybe in the process of re-signing with the Vikings. So A lot going on, a lot to digest. One thing that is true, however, in the world of everything Falcon is that Jonnu Smith was released today.
As expected.
So, guys, what do we think about that? I like Jonnu Smith personally. I just think you got Kyle Smith, you got weapons. We need an edge rusher. I get it. I understand. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on, first and foremost, Jonnu Smith's impact. And then secondly, what do you think about him being released? And, Chase, let's start with you. What say you, sir?
Jonnu Smith, man. I'll rock with Jonnu Smith. He was a good tight end. I believe there's a stat line that him and Kyle Pitts were the first two tight ends in Atlanta to reach 500 yards apiece. Something that hasn't been done here in Atlanta in a while. So to have that was nice. Now that we're speaking in terms of happening now, new offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, new scheme. So I don't think you run the two tight ends, Zach. You run, your three receivers or however you line up. But Jonnu Smith's production here in Atlanta was more than well enough for the trade that we made for him.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen fans kind of blow that we cut him because of the fact that we went and traded the draft pick for him. But people have to realize Jonnu Smith was an Arthur Smith guy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a whole new front office. I appreciate everything Jonnu Smith did in Atlanta because Jonnu did definitely there was games where Jonnu broke loose for 60 yards. Jonnu Smith, I believe, was 3 touchdowns he had here this season, over 500 yards, I think 50 receptions. So Jonnu Smith definitely put up a nice stat line here in Atlanta, and wherever he ends up, probably Steeler Nation, wherever that is, Jonnu, best of luck to you, sir, and appreciate you coming today, man.
Yeah, agreed.
Chase, great words. Great words.
Jack from State Farm. What's say
Jake
you?
or Jack? Which one? Got a lot of people hitting me up, messaging me. Somebody messaged me the other day, like, "Yo, Jake, what's up with this podcast thing you got going on?" Everybody loves it. If you're talking about, the impact of Jonnu, you trade for a guy where most fans are expecting. How'd you get? Why would you trade for this guy? What's the point? And then you see Smith's offense. You see what Jonnu did in the short period of time he was here in Atlanta. And for a Falcon fan, I want to say, shout out to Jonnu Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everything that you have done here in Atlanta. Just like any other player who has worn that uniform and gave it their all to go help us win. To make me as a fan believe we have a shot on that touchdown Jonnu scored. Hey, we're up. We're winning. We're back in it. However it was, any position, anytime he had the ball, it was like a thank you moment whenever he did whatever he could to try to get us some wins, to try to move the chains. I don't play football. That guy does. And I respect that. I got a picture with Jonnu Smith too as well, and talked to him as well after the games a couple times because, I'm around that area. So big shout out to Jonnu Smith. I'm glad that, you helped the best you could in any way you could to help move this team in the right direction. It just didn't work out well. But now, you're onto your new team and, however it may work out. For the Falcon fans, we kind of looked at it as it was going to happen because of the money.
6.5 mil.
It was expected. We talked about this on the podcast for a while where this is Chase, Terry, you know this because you guys were here. We talked about this on the podcast to where there was no cap situation going on, right? There was no off season there. We were talking about this back in week 16 about what the Falcons could do in the off season. And we talked about how they had this cap space of 25 mil or so, 28, and then they got the NFL cap bump to move them to 30 or so, and then they just cut Jonnu and they signed Liam. I respect the fact that the Falcons are making business decisions that some fans already knew was going to happen. Like, it wasn't a surprise that Jonnu was going to get cut, seeing what is owed here now in Atlanta, how much money we can get back. And Taylor Heineke should be next. I think we know this. Mike Hughes is probably on that line too as well. We know this. Right? And then Chase?
Richie Grant.
Some fans are going to start calling out names behind it. But who you're not going to call is Grady Jarrett. You're not going to call Jake Matthews. You're not going to call Chris Lindstrom. The ones that we know you're not going to call, put them to the side. There's a bunch of them. But the ones that you know you're going to call, we've already talked about. So Jonnu Smith, I thank you so much for doing whatever you can in Atlanta. But times have now moved on, and you will probably be looking for another team. When it comes to that cap situation, Terry, we got a little bit more money now.
44 million, I think. 44 and a half, maybe.
Between 44 and 50, however, they're going to option that out shortly, and then they're going to make some more cuts this week, and then doors are going to open, and then you can look at bigger names in the free agency. It was tough to talk about this at $25 million, but when you're $27 million richer, it's a little bit different, and that's getting ready to happen shortly when they get ready to make these cuts. The cool thing about it is, as a Falcon fan, you have been sitting here waiting for so long of some star-studded player to come here in Atlanta to help build this defense. Well, Jesse Bates was one of those guys. He came over last year. You've seen what he's done. Now is going to be a pass rusher. I think now the money can be used to go acquire a 3-4 down guy pass rusher, however they want to look at it. Because if a team theirs decide to go for it on 4th down against us this year, that motherfucker's on the field because you're paying for him. If you want to get a Daniel Hunter, I'm perfectly fine with it. If you can somehow get a Josh Allen or Brian Burns, I'm perfectly okay for it. If you can somehow snag that Christian Wilkins, I'm perfectly okay for it. You know, however they're going to get ready to work their defense. But the cap space was a big thing that we talked about this offseason. We knew that it was getting ready to happen with Jonnu. And Terry made the right deals to get us out of cap hell. We now can look into it and say, you gave a lot of one-year deals and you made some trades that really helped us out. But now we're sitting at close to $50 million. You're going to cut a couple more people. You got to do some restructures. We could be sitting at maybe 60 or 70 by the time this thing really gets kicked off. We talked about it the other day when they brought Liam back over the weekend. Like, that's strange. Why would you just go sign the long snapper first and then just leave us wondering over the weekend? You come out, you release Jonnu Smith, and then you got some more news probably following this week. I don't see the Falcons being finished with news this week. I talked about it Sunday. We can expect something this week. I think there's one more move that's going to happen this week. Somebody's going to get released just so they can go into the weekend feeling a little bit better about some of the positions that will open up. But yes, Jonnu Smith was he was an impactful player here in Atlanta. I have no problem with Jonnu.
Yep. Yeah, me neither. Chase, question for you.
Yep.
I know you're quick with the stats. What's Daniel? What's his name? Daniel Hunter. Daniel Hunter. What's he making now? What's
money wise is not my thing. Especially if they ain't with the Atlanta Falcons. But I can look something up real quick. Daniel Hunter, salary. That's what you want to know?
Yeah, because I want to know what do you guys think it would take to sign him?
Daniel Hunter, I'm looking anywhere between $15 to $25 million.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for Daniel Hunter.
If we do, that's our big fish, right? Like, you know.
How much?
Well, yeah, I'm looking at close to between 15 and 20 mil, 25 million.
He signed a 1-year deal for 14 with the
1 year deal for 14. How old is he? 28?
Yeah, he's getting on up there.
So this is his probably last max unless something happens where a team's just like, oh, he's just underperformed. Daniel Hunter, you got to go with the bag, bro. You got to get that 14 to around 17, 18 29. Million.
20? 20 million?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the bag. It's the bag. But guess what? You can do that when you got about $60, $70 million. Yeah. And you can get some other pieces around it. That could be your one splash move. And then you build around that. Some fans will say, oh, he's not good for the scheme. We're running 3-4. We're running this. Let's let the Falcons decide what they'll do, and then we'll talk about it. But you just can't knock a name like Daniel Hunter.
No,
you can't knock a name like Josh Allen or Brian Burns or, Daquan. Some of these names out here is just like,
agreed.
Falcons got some options, man. They got some options, and they got the money now. But also, and this chat is getting crazy.
My bad, Jack. It's 17, not 14.
17?
Okay. Yeah.
So the bump should get us around 14, close to 25.
14 is the dead cap value or whatever.
Okay. So
I expect it to happen.
22 million, gets you there. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So I really would love to hear you guys take, because I've been looking at interviews all day, right? And I'm hearing Justin Fields. Falcons are the number one destination.
Shout out, Miss Cheryl.
Yeah. I'm gonna say pump the brakes on that, right? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not. What I am saying is we haven't even talked to any of the quarterbacks yet, right? You're hearing Russell Wilson. You're hearing Justin Fields. But if you can draft somebody, it's so much cheaper, especially if you're going to go out and sign a rusher for $20 million, right? Because we'd agree you can't sign Kirk Cousins and Danielle Hunter. We'd agree with that, right? You wouldn't have much left to fill out your roster.
Right.
So my thoughts are maybe some of this is cannon fodder to just keep us clicking and keep us turning into the television set and just keep us engaged, because you really won't know what you can do until you have a good feel for if you can get these guys in the draft or not, right? You haven't even interviewed Caleb Williams. You haven't interviewed J.J. McCarthy. You haven't interviewed Jaden Daniels. You haven't interviewed Drake May. So then why would you now be the number one destination when you haven't even talked to these quarterbacks?
Mm-hmm.
Those are my thoughts, right? Because again, all of this can't be true, right? We can't be number one for Russell Wilson and number one for Justin. Oh yeah, and we're gonna move up in the draft.
Sounds like we're making a lot of moves already.
Right, exactly, right. But these it's kind of like competing objectives, right? So my thoughts are the Justin Fields one is a little hyperbole, maybe. What say you guys? What are your thoughts?
So this Justin Fields stuff, we're back at it again.
And another one.
So for the Fields situation, I've talked about it quite some time. Chase, we've talked about it. Terry, we've talked about it. Bodie knows. Big shout out to Bodie and Kiki too as well. They're not here tonight, but big shout out to Bodie and Kiki too as well.
Kiki.
The Falcons, look at the options at quarterback. I mentioned this again from earlier in the year on the podcast. Look at the options at quarterback available right now that's going to be free agents. We just heard today that even Zach Wilson will also probably be in that market too as well. But nobody wants no fucking Zach Wilson, bro.
No.
Like nobody's chasing no Gardner Minshew right now, bro. Like we're a team that is literally out of all the teams that need quarterbacks, I think we're number one designed best to go win. Not a Super Bowl, but to go win and get over the hump from all those teams that need quarterbacks. So when it goes to a team that can get a Russell Wilson or a Justin Fields or a Kirk Cousins or even draft a guy, that guy's going to be put into a system where, man, you got some pieces around you that is like ready to go win. Not knocking the other teams saying that they don't have weapons. But if you look at like the Bears' weapons versus the Falcons' weapons, the Falcons clearly have more weapons. Sucks that they dubbed us last year, but we had more weapons. Looking at the Titans situation, if they're going to go with Will Levis, Titans roster is not set up like our roster in that sense. Look at the Broncos roster, not set up like our roster. Like look at the Bijan Robinson, Drake London, Grady Jarrett, AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates. You know what I'm saying? Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom. Where you got the number one damn near guard in the NFL. You got top 10 cornerback in the NFL. You got top 15, top 10 defensive lineman, Grady Jarrett there. You got top all-pro safety Jesse Bates there. You got Bijan Robinson, hottest running back. And like, come on here. Like, you got weapons that's going to make any quarterback look good, even Jack Spade. And I do 80 on the run. So I'm just telling you, any quarterback could get over here and make things look, a little bit better because you have a better offense. Now, for Justin Fields' situation for the Falcons, I've always said it. I had 5 quarterbacks on my list. It was Fields, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, and the rookie quarterbacks. 2 of the guys, Jaden Daniels and Drake May. But I've talked about the Fields situation because Atlanta wants the Atlanta at the end of the day. So I'm just keeping it real with you, bro. I'm from Atlanta. Atlanta wants the Atlanta at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? And Justin Fields is Atlanta. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just not – it's the circumstances you're put under. And the circumstances that he had in Chicago wasn't the greatest. Is he the greatest passer in the league? No. Is he the most accurate passer in the league? No. Is he mediocre? Some could say. But the kid had a bad stint in Chicago. And the rumor, Chase, the rumor has it that we contacted and found out, trying to see what's going on. And, now more rumors are coming out. And my thing is, the Falcons probably won't wait until the draft when free agency comes before the draft. They're going to, you're a business. You have to answer the phone. You got to pick up the phone and call and ask what is going on with these quarterbacks. You need a quarterback. So it's kind of normal to see that the Falcons made that situation. I was talking to Eric earlier, and Eric is expecting that they do contact Russell Wilson in some sense too as well, eventually down the line when this free agency opens. But guess what? Falcon fans, it's funny how this Fields news comes out after the unfollowing of the Bears.
The press conference here lately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Chase?
The press conference.
And then Raheem's conference, of course, the combine, they're talking, and then Raheem says to the guy on the couch, you know, we want to find a guy that's right for the city. And the guy sits up in the chair and he's like, right for the city? You mean a guy from Atlanta?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're trying to, and then Raheem reacts, well, call it how you want to call it, say how you want to say it. But Raheem's comments about he wouldn't be here, that was the shocker. When Raheem said he wouldn't be here if there was better quarterback play in Atlanta. Shit, Raheem, shit.
Shot it
already,
but it's true. It's true, and I don't think, you know what, because Chase, just remind me to comment on that. Chase, I want to hear your thoughts on it because you've been silent. So give me your thoughts, man. I don't want to talk over you. So go ahead.
I look at the Justin Fields thing. Like, I mean, obviously, you guys know my opinion on Justin Fields. Everybody here on the show probably knows my opinion. People from DFU definitely know my opinion. Justin Fields, he's a young guy, man. He's a young guy in the NFL that I mean, if you're willing to trade a second-round pick for this kid, you're taking a chance on him. You think this is the guy. This is the guy that's going to take you to the playoffs. I mean, there's no other way to explain it. But to me, you go and you make the trade for Justin Fields. Say you do that. You can pick up his 5th-year option. You got 2 years for Justin Fields to prove he belongs in Atlanta. You look at but then some people would say you're trading a second for this guy. He damn sure better work out in Atlanta. This better be the franchise quarterback. So my thing with the Fields and the Atlanta Falcons contacting and then being in the lead for the trade for Justin Fields.
Rumors.
I feel like the Atlanta Falcons are going to do their due diligence. They're going to do that with every draft pick. Every top tier quarterback, every top 5 quarterback, I believe, will visit with the Atlanta Falcons. And I was reading where the Bears GM says that he would like the way he's talking, it seems like Justin Fields is out of there. He's pretty much said everything. He pretty much said everything that how I would like to trade Justin Fields before free agency even started.
He wants to make Justin Fields feel happy if he trades him. That's what comments.
These were the comments that he said that he would like to do it before free agency. So if the Falcons truly are the leaders, is this a move we make before free agency? Could we have our quarterback before the tampering is even uplifted?
A Bears journalist just reported that he believes the Fields news is getting ready to come out probably way before the free agency. Like it's going to happen in 3 or 4 days that the Bears is going to make it known he's not going to be the quarterback. And that's one of the Bears journalists. So
Terry, to your answer about Justin Fields to Atlanta, not my first pick. Definitely not my first pick. But at the end of the day, if he's got the logo on his back and he's repping Atlanta, and like I told you guys earlier in the chat, I seen the video that if that was really Justin Fields getting the call that, the Atlanta Falcons were wanting to trade for him, seeing a guy react to that, I mean, he acted like he got drafted again. The kid acted like he was drafted again, like he was coming to Atlanta to
the person in the background saying, "You coming home?"
Yeah, so that there kind of excites me. I mean, I know I'm not the biggest Justin Fields fan, but to see a guy excited to come to your team that you rep so hard that you want to see win a Super Bowl, just really lit a whole new spark for me and Justin Fields. I'll give the kid his chance if he lands in Atlanta. We'll see what happens, and if Justin ain't the guy for Atlanta, I'm sure we'll talk about it here on the podcast.
That's true. That's true.
Other than that, I mean, it is what it is.
Falcon fans, a lot of things to look at here about the Justin Fields situation. Terry, I don't want to cut you off. I just want to just show fans something real quick, and then I know you want to go ahead and help us out here. Falcon fans, just want to turn your attention to the screen here. You guys can see that?
Yep.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, I'll try to get this out the way. Can this get out the way? Okay, they don't want it out the way. Justin Fields' agent has some connections. As you can see right here, AJ Terrell is also with the same agency with Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. As I keep scrolling, oh, who is that? Is that Jesse Bates? Oh,
Kyle Pitts should be on that list somewhere.
Oh, Jesse Bates. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's Kyle Pitts. Let's go back up. That's Kyle Pitts. Justin Fields' agent representation is right here with 4 of your starters on your Falcons team is represented by this young man. Do not be surprised if he ends up in Atlanta when you have Kyle Pitts, AJ Terrell, Jesse Bates. Let's go back last year, Chase. Remember when Falcon fans saw the video of Jesse Bates in the club with AJ Terrell? What did they start doing? Oh, the connection. Where did the connection come from? Oh, they share the same fucking agent. Oh, shit.
That's right.
Yep. Don't be surprised if he ends up in Atlanta. But my thing is this. If Fields is the guy, you mean that was the first option?
That's the thing.
Nobody in the room said Russell Wilson. Nobody in the room said Russell Wilson. Nobody. And if they did say Russell Wilson, who the fuck shot it down?
That's where I feel like you'll in the next couple of days you'll see the Falcons entertaining, even possibly talking to a Kirk Cousins. Even though rumors are he could re-sign with Minnesota.
Yeah,
I think you have to do it. I think you have to reach out to these guys, see what their plans are, because let's be real. There's some players in the NFL that want the ring. They could care less about the money. They have the house, they have the car, they have the expensive lifestyle, but they want the ring. So at the end of the day, I think you have to do it, and you have to find out what these quarterbacks want.
Falcons fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Talking Falcons football. T Will's here with us. Chase, Dirty Fanatics United is here with us. Falcons news and updates. Of course, they re-signed Liam last week. Released Jonnu Smith. Probably some more news coming about. The rumors of Justin Fields. I think there was a Caleb Williams is supposed to be meeting with the Falcons this week somewhere at the Combine or something going on there. That's another rumor too as well. We heard another rumor that can also affect the draft is the New York Giants putting out a rumor that they could be interested in a quarterback, and they sit in front of the Falcons because of the injury concern for Daniel Jones after they paid this kid a shit ton of money a couple years ago. That's how teams are moving nowadays. They will eat that dead money to say, you ain't get a shit in 3 years. We paid you a bunch of money, and you've been injured twice. You got to go. They will get a guy to mold under Daniel Jones. I'm not saying that the Giants are going to go move up and draft their guy. No, but it's something to watch for when the teams ahead of you, the first 3 teams we keep talking about, the Bears, not the Jaguars, the Bears, the Patriots, the Commanders. How do we get up in 1, 2, and 3? And then you have a team like the Giants now with their rumor that they're possibly interested in looking into a quarterback. And that should be something to look at too as well, because the Steelers talked about it with the competition for Pickett. The Vikings need a guy. You mentioned the rumor, Terry, about the Kirk Cousins possibly could be coming back to Minnesota. Justin Jefferson mentioned that he wanted Kirk Cousins back in Minnesota. That would help Minnesota out because now they're going to sit like, we got Kirk back and we keep the 11th pick. So now Minnesota's like, perfect. Let's go do something, that we can make happen. But Scott Karisic made a good point today too as well about why Justin Fields would end up in the A and not any other team. And he went over all the teams that needed quarterbacks and why Fields wouldn't end up there, like Vegas. Justin Fields' old OC is in Vegas. He's not going to go to Vegas when they had the backlash over there in Chicago. And then he went to this Steelers situation where Pickett's going to be the guy. And then he went to Denver situation where you mentioned like some money. Man, I'm going to pull up the tweet in a minute from Scott Karisic. But Scott was kind of spot on as why Justin Fields would end up in Atlanta. And then you look at what he posted at the end of it, and it's like, well, Atlanta's just open to have a quarterback. Every other team, there was a problem with Fields, except for Atlanta, just said available. So this is some things to look at. But my thing, Chase, is why you didn't even, if he is the guy and he gets in here, why wasn't Russell Wilson discussed? You got the money, you got whatever it takes to acquire Russell Wilson. Why? Yeah. The numbers have shown Russell Wilson can go in there and compete and win some games.
Do you think? I'm sorry. Do you think maybe there's been some back end channel communication that says, "Hey guys, I don't want to come there." You know,
Terry,
because
this is the NFL. I'm gonna tell you right now, these player relationships and these coach relationships, you can't stray from it. If you're a GM and you've been in Atlanta for 4 years now, but you worked with another team for 20 years, and I'm your good friend and I'm in Buffalo, I can't talk to you on the phone away from all this media shit.
Right? Yeah, I get it, but
remember
I'm saying
the tweet between Belichick to Flores about the other Brian got the job.
Yeah.
I tweeted the wrong. I texted the wrong Brian.
Yeah. But
the motherfuckers are talking behind the scenes, bro. And it's only tampering when the shit gets out of here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't like that shit. It's tampering, motherfucker. I got you now. They talking behind the scenes. That's why I'm saying we're not in the war room with Terry. You don't think if Terry doesn't know 1, 2, and 3 is not giving up the picks?
Right.
Only Terry knows that. We don't know that.
Right.
Terry did his due diligence with the Patriots and the Commanders already. They ain't trading. They're not trading. We're going to find out about that after the draft. Well, why did you go with such and such at 8? Well, we called the Patriots and it wasn't trading. They knew that shit before the draft.
Right. No, my thoughts are maybe Russ or maybe someone has alerted the Falcons. Yeah, Russ doesn't want to come there. And again,
what would be the reason, Terry?
This is all spec. You know what the reason would
be. But Chase, let's try to get away from that situation and let's not mention future. Falcon fans in the chat, let's be real here. If Russell Wilson is the most elite quarterback right now in the free agency that's going to be available, why wouldn't he end up in Atlanta when this team is built for a Russell Wilson type of performance? The stats of Russell Wilson has shown over 3,000 yards there in the past 4 or 5 seasons, 15 plus touchdowns over interception ratio. Last year, it was Chase, 26 and 9, 26 touchdowns and 9 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that in Atlanta. The year before that, I think he had like a 21-8 ratio. Year before that, it was like 17 to like another 5 or 6 ratio.
Something like that, yeah.
He's a proven quarterback. That's the elite processor. So it's like, why would he not want to come to Atlanta when he just said he wants to win two rings in the next 5 years? Raheem Morris got a 5-year deal. I mean, Terry, I'm trying to figure out, is it future?
I mean, well, Russ is a family man. Russ is a family man. Lest we not forget, Russ, family's important to him, right? And again, hey, let me be clear. I'm for Russell. Okay? If I had my druthers, I'd choose Russell over Justin any day of the week and twice on Sunday. So easy. I'm for Russell. The question is, would Russell come here? Right? Would he, ignore all the idiots out there? And I don't think that's as big of a deal as the situation going on with them that we won't discuss. And it's possible. It's
true
possible.
Comment right there. True comment.
Which one?
That one. Go back to it. Go back.
Maurice?
Yeah.
Boo Man?
Yeah, it feels the cheapest situation, honestly, and the only way you keep your first rounder. That's very true. He is the way that you keep your first rounder, and you got your quarterback. You still sit at 8 and grab another weapon for the offense. Go to Dallas, turn the route. Either way.
And you're hearing the comments from Terry and Raheem, and Terry. Terry F. Baby, he's a draft guy. A lot of his players that he's drafted has played on the field for the Falcons and has significant amount of playing time. So why would Terry just risk it all at that draft just to give up everything to move up to 2 when technically I thought about this. Chase, I might be onto something. What if this year they just rebuild shit crazy through the free agency? And then they trade everything for the draft.
Chase the ring. Go for
Chase the ring, right? So I'm saying if you don't go get your 7, 8 guys through draft that you're going to be using on the field, you can still get them in free agency because you got a shit ton of money. Now, those same 8 players you bringing in through free agency, I mean, draft, you're going to have 1 or 2 picks you can still pick up. Hell, your 4th rounder and your 5th rounder might even play. That's the way Terry rolls out here. They're going to play. We want to see them play.
Right.
But Chase, to move up to 1 and 2, you're giving up a lot, Chase. Let's be real here. This is the year where quarterback is the fucking bubble it's the elephant in the room here. And there's a bunch of teams that need a quarterback. Last year's draft, a little bit different. This year, multiple teams want that number 1 and 2 and pick. They want to go get these Caleb Williams and these Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Chase is going to be a heavy trade value. Are you willing to give up 5, 6 picks of your future? Probably 2 or 3 as first or second rounders for one guy.
It's got to be a guy like Matt Ryan. You got whoever you're going after that you're getting rid of these picks like this. It better come out to be the situation of a Matt Ryan, no less. I mean, you got to. I mean, if you're going that far in on a player, he's got to be the guy. You've got to be scouting this guy for years on end, not just this last season that he came up with and had amazing stats. They've scouted this guy for years and years and years. So if you're giving away picks like that, I'm not a big fan for sure. I'm not a big fan, but then again, it kind of makes me sit back and think, well, the Falcons are really in on this guy. This is the playmaker. This is who we want. So at the end of the day, whatever Terry does, and I think what Terry's done the past 2 years has proven, whatever Terry does, we're going to be all right.
Mm-hmm. You got the situation where Justin Fields speaking to the brothers, the Amon brothers, about, oh yeah, you got my boy Drake over there, my boy Kyle, Bijan. Probably get another wide receiver too.
Malik Neighbors.
And then that Malik Neighbors comes into talk where it's like, this little kid, I swear this kid, if this is set up to where this Fields and then Malik Neighbors, and fans are going to sit here in the chat and say, Jack, come on, cut the bullshit. We went running back in the draft. We went tight end in the draft. We went wide receiver. I'm telling y'all right now, y'all going to be surprised if it's Malik Neighbors at 8. If they select the quarterback,
yep,
in the free agency, and you see Malik Neighbors come off the board to the Falcons at 8, you know where I'm going with this. We're getting ready to fucking get the ball down the field.
Yep.
You don't draft a guy at 8 and get him 10 to 15 targets per season.
No, you don't.
We're finna eat. Somebody's finna pass the fuck out this ball.
No, you don't.
So that means that they have a plan where Zach Robinson is saying, yeah, the personnel that we're running, we're gonna get down the field. We're gonna keep it moving. It's gonna like some Kyle Shanahan shit. Where fucking even Josh Harris scored that year, for God's sake.
Shit.
I think Saubert, even Eric Saubert scored. I think if I'm not mistaken.
He was what backup tight end? His backup.
Eric Saubert.
Yeah.
Eric Saubert was like a 3rd or 4th with us, who eventually went to go be a starter somewhere else.
But he was a tight end though, right?
Yeah,
he was a tight end. Yeah, he was a tight end. Okay.
Big shout out to the Saubert family too as well. I'm in the hotel in Cleveland. I'm sitting at eating breakfast, and I look over and I see the jerseys with the glitter on the back, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be mom and dad. Gotta be. Who's got the Saubert's jerseys? Like who's pulling up with the Saubert jersey? It's got to be mom and dad. But I had a good conversation with them too as well, and it was like, yeah, Eric, that's our son. But yeah, great time. When he was here in Atlanta, just didn't work out. For a lot of players, it didn't work out. Chase.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Question.
Go ahead, Terry.
Raheem's comments on the quarterback play, and I think Ritter. I think Chase alluded to it. You think that means Ritter is a definite third string, like that, because you didn't have to phrase it that way, but you did. What
put it like this, man. From the 2 interviews that we've seen publicly from Raheem Morris is a guy that knows how to answer media questions. He's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's very savvy.
He knows how to please the Atlanta Falcon fans. He gave us the answer a lot of fans wanted to hear. Everybody wanted to hear that Desmond Ridder is not quarterback 1 this year, or possibly not even quarterback 2.
Right.
For Raheem to come out and say that, I don't think it's a shot at Desmond or Taylor. They both know it's a business. Desmond Ridder is still a very, very young quarterback in the league. 3 years. Justin Fields on his 4th year now. So maybe this is what Ridder needs. Maybe Ridder needs to sit at the 2nd spot or the 3rd spot to learn the NFL. And maybe Ridder can once, if they go the vet route, maybe Ridder one day can lead the Atlanta Falcons. Maybe he could be the franchise quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. But you brought in a lot of good personnel to teach a young guy like Desmond Ridder. So I don't think you just throw him to the wolf. I don't think you just let him go. He was a guy you drafted. Terry was still a part of that draft. So I think this is a guy that you let somebody mentor. Desmond Ridder could use it. Seen a lot. I mean, Desmond Ridder can win games in the NFL. We've seen him do it.
You've seen it.
He can do it. So if something was to happen, Desmond could come in and play. So I'm still a fan of Desmond. I don't want to see him starting in Atlanta next year, but I still rock with Desmond.
that last line, Chase, was the ultimate though. you give him the compliments. He was like, yeah, Desmond Ridder. Then I just don't want to see him motherfuckers starting in Atlanta no more. But yeah, Desmond Ridder's a good guy.
Oh
my god, I love it. What you got, Terry?
I think. Look, I like Ridder. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm just. It seems to me like that comment, to Chase's point, basically said he's not starting and he's not second string.
Mm-hmm.
What I took from that comment, and again, I could be reading too much in it, but I took Ridder's third string and Heineke out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I took. That's what I got.
The one thing about the quarterback situation, and I know some fans are like, we gotta take like a guy like Russell Wilson, maybe draft a guy, go get Kirk and draft a guy. I'm not. If you trading up, first of all, if you draft a guy, if you get a free agent quarterback like Kurt or Russ or Fields, I don't want no trades happening at the first round to go move up and get nobody, to get no quarterback. That is what I don't want.
No,
so,
I don't think you see that. I don't. Well, I don't.
Terry, nope, Terry, don't do it. Don't. Well, Terry, no.
I don't think you'd see it with Justin. I don't think you'd see it with Kirk, right? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't see it with Russ, but you may see it on the second day.
Okay, I'm comfortable with that because that second day guy, he's technically might play, might not play. My number 8 pick is playing week 1.
Yes. Sir.
Yeah. If I'm moving up to trade, he's playing week 1. I'm not sitting this guy I just traded for to move up 3-4 picks in first round. We're talking about a quarterback here.
Right.
If I trade a quarterback at number 8 and I give it up a first and a second and a fourth and a conditional fifth down the line, and I just got Kirk Cousins in free agency, there better be a competition battle because that rookie needs to be playing. I don't want the fans to be cheering when the interception is thrown. No, we could have just put this guy out here. What was the point? I need my top 10 pick playing on the field.
Yeah, I don't think you'd sign Kurt or Russell for that matter and draft a quarterback in the first round. That's just me. Now, if you sign Tannehill, if you sign,
don't scare us.
Because again, guys, there are at least 9, potentially 10, 11 teams out there that need a quarterback, and you have to prepare yourself for, you can want a QB. I mean, I can want hair. I don't have any.
Shit. My man said he can want hair. No mommy's way. That's tough.
There we go.
God.
Just saying. Okay.
Not the self-roast. Not the air fryer.
I'm just oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Terry's a real one, though, man. I tell you, he is a real diehard Falcon fan, man. It's getting to a point where Terry, you got to tell us about your podcast that you're going to start soon, too, because for those that do not know, you hear Terry talking the facts about Falcons. He's also a big Braves guy. He's a big Atlanta Braves fan, too, as well, and he knows his baseball. But there's some baseball fans here in the chat that probably want to hear what Terry has to say when it comes to baseball, so be on the lookout for what Terry has coming with that level. Chase, I know you do have to run, too, as well. What shout outs you got for today? We did have a good conversation talking Falcons football. We got so many shows coming up, so we know that you'll always be here talking Falcons football. But before you get up out of here, what you got for us?
Man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Atlanta Falcons for giving us something to talk about here on the podcast, man. A lot to come, a lot more to talk about here on the podcast for these Dirty Birds. I promise you we'll be here every step of the way. Shout out to all the new subscribers, man. Like Jack said, we're at right at 650 on the road to 1K. Hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like the podcast. If you're watching this afterwards, man, drop a comment and let us know you stopped by and viewed the show. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to you, Jack. Shout out to Bodie, Kiki. Shout out to the good Lord, man. Shout out to my kids. Shout out to my wife. That's all I got, man. Check us out at Dirty Fanatics United. The ad has changed. It's DFU_ATL. So check us out at Dirty Fanatics United on YouTube, Facebook, soon to be on Spotify. So just ride with us. And shout out to Jeremiah Weems for winning the DFU hoodie giveaway. So shout out to that, man. Much love to y'all boys. Y'all have a good show, man. Peace out. A-Town down.
You do the same. All right. Well, it looks like Jack is having power issues, so we're going to continue the show until he gets back. Sorry, guys. You're stuck with me. Quinn owes us. Be crazy. We trade up for that number 2 pick. Well, if you're going to get a quarterback, yeah, Mateo. If you're going to get a quarterback, okay. I could see that. But the only reason you go up to number 2 is you're trying to get somebody. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. I don't know. If we do go up to number 2, you guys, what are you thinking? Jaden Daniels, Drake May. What are we thinking? What are we thinking at number 2? I'd love to. I don't know. I'm more. They say that Caleb has all of the tools, but Jaden Daniels was at LSU with essentially no defense. I mean, no defense. And he kept him in games. He won games. He brought him back. Jaden's got a lot of moxie. If you're talking about just a prototypical big stud quarterback with a big stud arm, that's Drake May. But they say Caleb has all of the intangibles and all of the raw physical skills. So I just don't know who I'd want at 2. I mean, either one of those 3 would be great. I know one of them isn't going to be there at 2. I think, I don't know. We've seen where Caleb Williams has put it out there that he doesn't want to go to Chicago. But then I keep hearing news that says Chicago wants him. So I don't know. But it would be interesting if we trade up. The question, Mateo, is what would we have to give up to go to number 2? Right? So we'd have to give probably a first and a second for this year, first and a second for next year, first and a second for 26, maybe a few kids, some blood, a car, the mortgage. Like, you're going to have to, that's going to be like a Minnesota Dallas-esque trade to do that. And I don't know that we're there. I don't know that we're there, but could be. I don't know. Also heard today that the Falcons may be interested in trading for Jerry Sneed. I did hear that maybe about.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
DeKalb County, count your fucking days. DeKalb County, count your fucking days. I'm telling you right now, DeKalb County, Georgia. I'm finna flip this fucking table.
Wow. Don't flip the table. Don't do that.
The storm was over almost 4 hours ago.
And now all of a sudden it just, wow. Well, at least you now have power, right? You now have power.
Desmond Ritter.
I love it, Kenneth. I love it, Kenneth. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's a very real thing. Very real thing. Could have been Ritter. Could have been Ritter.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I apologize deeply for anybody who was here in the chat minutes ago and saw Jack Spade just randomly get kicked. We don't bash players here on One Time for the Fan.
No, we don't.
But it appears that we may have been talking about somebody a little bit too much. That he done caught the IP and pulled up. He done used them skills at Cincinnati. Caught the IP.
Oh, wow.
Pulled up.
That's right. That's not right.
Probably used
That's not right.
Lyft.
That's
or he was on a DoorDash run.
What do we think about Raheem's comments, right? So right fit for the city. I kind of wanted to get into that tonight, and we backed off of it, but now it's just you and I. What do you think about that? Because I know Raheem is a bit of a showman. He's been in LA. He's won it all with the Rams. And I think he's building the excitement and trying to reset the brand. What are your thoughts on the right fit for the city comment regarding the quarterback?
I'm going to keep it real with everybody here in the chat. You know I love y'all. Terry, you know I talk about the Falcons fan base all day.
Yep.
You know, we talk on the phone. We have had these conversations about, you know, how to build a better Falcons fan base.
Yep.
More positivity. You see what I'm doing with the Rise Up tour, putting this stuff together on the road when I just want to go in the game and sit down and just watch the game. But I got to make sure that fans are good here and good here because I want to make sure that the unity is there.
Yep.
Within the team, within the city, within the community, because I've been a fan of this team for a very long time. And I want to see the greater outcome from it. I want to see the championships. I want to be the Kansas City fan that is enjoying these moments, because years ago, he wasn't enjoying those moments.
No, he wasn't.
You feel what I'm saying? He wasn't there when
Definitely
Trent Green and all that shit, but he wasn't enjoying that shit. It was a tough period until Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. I want that moment. And maybe we can get that moment eventually. But until then, I'm for the city of Atlanta. I don't want to see the dream die down. I'm here to make the dream come more alive as a fan. And that's what we do for the tour. And of course, you know, what we got going on. So for Raheem's comments, we talked about this when he first got signed to Atlanta. When he mentioned home, he kept saying home. I'm home. I'm back home, to make you believe that he was from Atlanta when he's not from Atlanta. Trust me when I'm telling y'all this, Falcon fans, because there's a lot of fans here that's from outside of Atlanta. Atlanta wants to Atlanta. I'm from here. We want to Atlanta. Bro, we will be petty as fuck over the win. You don't understand this shit. Like, it's real deal that we can lose to the Saints, but we got to be petty as fuck because we get Atlanta. But we just lost to the Saints, bro. You know what I'm saying? My trash talk's a little bit different. They just won, bro. You feel what I'm saying? But as a fan, they always want to be Atlanta. Justin Fields technically represents what the city wants. You feel what I'm saying? Because they want a quarterback who's not only from here, who can rep here, who can say that they won it. He's from Atlanta and won it for Atlanta. I understand that. That's the kind of like the same, I think, when it goes to like Caleb Williams in Washington. Caleb Williams is from Washington. I'm sure Washington would be like, hey, we'd love to have the kid who's the hometown hero. It doesn't happen all the time. But to hear the comments about wanting something for the city, he kept saying the city. And that's kind of like when people say Atlanta and you're out of town. Like, it just gives you that feeling gets over you, like when you say Atlanta, because you're from here. You know what I'm saying? It's not like if you say it when you're from, no knock to like, you know, Wisconsin, or no knock to, well, New York get that feeling too. When you say New York, it's that feeling, because Miami, New York, LA, it's not gonna, you're not gonna get that if somebody says they're from, you know, Des Moines, Iowa or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Iowa. It's like, you're from Iowa? Okay, that's cool. You say you're from Atlanta, it's like, I remember when I was in high school, I went to school in California, and they were like, where you from? I'm like, oh, he's from Atlanta. You can't see the A-hat. Everybody coming up to you. Hey, you from Atlanta? Hey, let me show you this little dance. Hey, you know about Usher? Hey, you heard about Crime Mob? Hey, because you're from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It's just that feeling. So when he mentions that he wants something for the city, it does feel like a Justin Fields. It does feel like that's he wants to give city. And I don't put race in. I've never mentioned race in this. So I don't want to just say they want a black quarterback. No, but Justin Fields is Atlanta. He's from Atlanta. He's born and raised here. He's played football in high school here. I mean, that gif of Kirby Smart on the sideline when he's eating the popcorn, like, that's the play when Justin Fields was in high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe fans and the organization sees that Justin Fields can be developed and he could be a better product here in Atlanta. I'm not the one to make the call, but what I hear from Raheem's comments is that he wants to put Atlanta back on the map. And notice that, you know, there's no outside media attention with Justin Fields other than he's just a football player, you know. And the Russell Wilson situation is a little bit different, to where as soon as he gets signed, it's going to be a lot of outside media attention
going down.
That takes away from what Atlanta wants. Even though Atlanta's petty, they're going to take away to be like, hey, you know, they got Russell Wilson here. Let's show them how real petty we can get. You know what I'm saying? With Justin Fields, you can just talk football. All you can talk about is football. With Russell Wilson, I can talk about a million things outside of football that can get him upset.
Right.
You know, so that's why I feel like Russell Wilson wasn't Atlanta enough for Atlanta. You know, because technically, if Justin Fields does become the quarterback, I'm still going to sit here and question why Russell Wilson's name wasn't brought up. Or wait for Russell Wilson. If you got to wait till June to get Russell Wilson, do it. But I'm going to stick by it. Look at the stats from Russell Wilson. He'd be a great quarterback here.
Is Jaden Daniels Atlanta enough?
Yes. Yes. Heisman Trophy winner, LSU kid. The build of having who he is as a quarterback, he has to bulking up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then again, some quarterbacks are smaller than Jaden Daniels and still playing the NFL. Drake May has that quarterback build, though, that 6'4", 230 type physique. So fans are like, yo, get a Drake May guy. But, you know, I saw fans hate on Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan gave it his all. You know what I'm saying?
That's a real. So I'd like to talk about that for a second. Hey, Smitty.
Big shout out to Smitty in the chat.
Hey, big shout out to Smitty. That's a real thing, right? Because I think Matt came out and said that a week ago about how he was treated.
Talked to Cam Newton in the Super Bowl.
And
And still gave his heart and still played here and still wanted to have a contract here to keep going to fight for the city as they continued to down him.
Do you think and not that we would ever sniff Drake May, but to the extent that, in this wild, wacky world, we got Drake May, do you think that he would be welcome with open arms in Atlanta? Or do you think it would be split down the middle as the fans were with Matt Ryan?
It'll be split down the middle. Quarterback coming from North Carolina, ACC football, not a big splashy player to fans. A lot of people didn't watch North Carolina football. But it's about the combine and the pro day and, of course, what the coaches believe. A lot of fans don't want that. They don't care what the coaches believe. They want their belief. It's like, oh, Zach Robinson saw this in the guy. I don't care what Zach Robinson said. I'm a season ticket holder of 3 years versus the coach who's coaching the team. I, as a fan, have to understand that Raheem and Zach have something in place for whoever this quarterback is. If it's Jaden, if it's Drake, if it's Caleb, if it's Penix. And notice we don't even talk about Penix much no more because the Penix talk for all the fans is doing like this. Just like in the beginning, it was there. I don't know if it was the national championship, but slowly I just started seeing fans do this. It was not, I didn't call for that. The fan base just do it on its own. They just shift.
Well, I think they saw the national championship game. And again, to be fair, it was one game, right? It was one game. One game does not a career make, but he just looked so bad. His timing was off. He did not set his feet. I don't think he set his feet 3 times in a row that entire game. Most of his throws were off his back foot. Now, if he was injured, then okay, that makes sense, right? That makes sense. But, and hey, I wouldn't mind Penix if it's second day because I think he could very well be top of the second round. So if you draft, let's say we do trade for Justin. Let's say we do draft the edge rusher out of Alabama. Second pick with Michael Penix, I'm okay with it because you got the guy second round. And yeah, L'Jarius Sneed could mean the end of AJ in Atlanta.
That's like another rumor too as well.
I did hear that. I did hear that. But aren't the Chiefs trying to franchise L'Jarius? I heard they're going to franchise him.
Well, him and Scantling too as well.
No, they let Scantling go. They let him go earlier today. So. I mean, he's out there to be signed. Scantling is out there to be re-signed. I just don't know. I don't know. What do you think about Scantling?
Big shout out to Smitty Sports Machine in the chat. We have a lot of Falcon fans, content creators, a lot of people here in the chat. So shout out to you all. You guys are a big part of why One Time for the Fan is doing what we do. Smitty, I reached out to you the other day, so we definitely got to get you back on because, your comments about the Falcons quarterback issue, you talk about it every day. So definitely got to get you back on. Terry,
as a number 2, like I know he had the drops. I know he had some drops last year, but number 2 overall, I don't know.
Nah.
Yeah. Nah. I think it would depend on the money. I think if you could get value for him, then okay, because again, he's not number 1. He's not your number 1 option.
Your opinion, Terry?
For the right amount of money, I'm okay. Look, my heart is quarterback and edge rusher this year. Now if you can get a L'Jarius Sneed, I will not. I'm all for it. But in the world where you don't get everything you want, give me a quarterback, whether it's Justin Fields, whether it's Russell Wilson, whether it's one of the top 3, and give me an edge rusher. And if we have to spend, save our pennies on a wide receiver, then I'm okay with it. Because again, you do have a plethora of options with the Falcons. So even if you do get a number 2, receiver, you still got Drake, you still got Kyle, you still got Bijan, you still got Algier. You have weapons. Is Matt Collins is a free agent, right? He was on a 1-year deal, correct? I know you was. Hey Kenny, what's going on?
Falcon fans are crazy in this chat right now about not only the
yeah.
quarterback issue, but they're ready to start the season. I know a bunch of fans in this chat, not only season ticket holders, but people who are going to be in the Benz week 1, and they don't even know who the quarterback is. It's just the passion of who the fan is. You know, Smitty, you got Dre, you got Mateo, you got Eric Parker in here too as well. Lisa Shepard is also in here. Drake, William Amy, it's Manuel Johnson, Jabri Harper, diehard fans in here. Carlton Bunch. Man, this is great. This is great. Falcon fans, this is what we do. We talk Falcons football every Sunday, every Wednesday, and now we have Falcons football to talk about Friday mornings too as well, with our breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Time this week should be a little bit different. I know it was 9 o'clock that we did 2 weeks ago. I believe this week it might be 10 or 10:30. Got some things to do, but we're gonna have the breakfast with One Time for the Fan because everybody's been having a great time talking Falcons football on Sunday and Wednesday shows. We want to bring more content to you all because everybody's they get so excited about the season, and just as much as you are excited, we are too. But Terry, we talked about a lot here tonight, and even if you go over the topics that we have here for the show, Justin Fields was a part of that rumor topic, but we spent so much time on the Fields issue because fans here in the chat know that it could be possible that he can end up here in Atlanta. And in a month from now, Terry, this podcast could be totally different. We could be coming in here talking about we have our quarterback. We could be talking about that we have our pass rusher. This is Terry. This is all in a span of about 30 days, about 8 shows from now.
Yeah,
it could be totally different. Like, holy shit, One Time for the Fan. I can't wait to hear what they have to say because they've been talking about this quarterback issue. They've been talking about what Raheem and Zach Robinson and Terry Fontenot and all these, great minds in the organization is doing, but we still don't have our QB. So this show was titled Rumors because there are a lot of rumors out here. There are a lot of rumors out here, but we know for certain in the next coming weeks we're gonna get our guy, regardless if it's through the free agency or if it's through the draft. And One Time for the Fan will be here to talk about it. Another thing, too, as well, Kenny Sanabria, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, and he is also a new member of the Rise Up Tour. So big shout out to Kenny.
Congrats, Kenny.
Kenny now was talking to me on the phone the other day about he's been to other cities, Terry. And when he came down here to Atlanta, because he lives in a different city, he was just surprised to see where's all the Falcon jerseys. Like, where's all the Falcon fans like repping? Like just walking around just day to day wearing their Falcon gear. I told Kenny over the phone. I said, Kenny, I done been to cities where, of course, I follow the Falcons, so wherever they play, I'm going. But some of these cities, I done pulled up on a Thursday, on a Wednesday, Friday, and these jokers 20 miles from the stadium wearing their gear. The team that we playing. That year we went to Seattle last year. I see why they're the 12.
Oh yeah.
Every single fucking bar had something that had Seahawk related. People walking around on a normal Friday afternoon wearing green and blue hair, going to work. Seahawks jerseys. Same thing when I was in Cincinnati last year. Cincinnati Bengals fans everywhere. This is a Bengals team that hasn't won shit. But for some reason, downtown Cincinnati, I just feel the roar of the Bengal down there. Matter of fact, who was with me? I can try to get this confirmed. We were downtown Cincinnati, and Bengals fans were talking shit to us. And I'm sitting there thinking,
I think Atlanta is a very transient city, first and foremost, which means half the folks that are here are not from here, right? And number two, nothing cures everything like winning. I am a lifelong Falcons fan. But there are a lot of folks of my ilk that have been here for years that, maybe they're a Cowboys fan or maybe they're whatever fan of another team. And you got to win. And no disrespect to the Falcons. I love them. I've been a Falcon fan since day one. I'll die a Falcons fan. Whether we win a Super Bowl or not, I will die a Falcons fan. But this is Atlanta. And Atlanta is a very transient city, meaning you got folks going and coming all the time, right? It's an entertainment city. And you want to establish a new tradition, right? You believe you me, Falcons win a Super Bowl, you'll see a whole lot of Falcons jerseys that next year.
But why is it just the Falcons have to win the Super Bowl? Why am I in Cincinnati? And I'll post the picture. Matter of fact, do I have the picture? I want to show y'all the picture. I was standing in a sea of Bengals fans. Where if I show you the overhead picture, it's like a Where's Waldo moment. Because you can't find me in that sea of Bengals fans. I was even turning to my friend like, what row you at? He said, row 13. It's an outdoor stadium. I'm like, bro, I don't see you. He's like, I'm waving my hand. I'm like, bro, everybody's standing up. I can't see you. This is in Cincinnati Stadium. I just want the passion of the fans to just be here 24/7. For Kenny to tell me as an out-of-towner he couldn't find no Falcon fans wearing jerseys on a regular day during football season. And when I get off the plane in Dallas to go watch the Falcons play the Cowboys years ago, as soon as I get off the plane, Dallas Cowboys team store, Dallas Cowboys restaurant, Dallas Cowboys team store, Dallas Cowboys restaurant. As soon as we leave at the airport, Cowboys billboard, Cowboys sign, Cowboys sign, Cowboys sign.
They've won Super Bowls, right? Like, lest we not forget, 2016 was a collapse. And the narrative, fair or not, true or not, like it or not, is that Atlanta teams can't win the big one. Now, we can take the Braves out because they won it in 2021. But lest we not forget, in the 90s, the Braves went to 5 World Series and won 1. Should have won 3, right? The Hawks? Did I just say the Hawks? Okay, no disrespect to the Hawks.
No mommy's way, not the Hawks.
But the narrative is that we can't win the big one. The Dogs have given us legitimacy by winning back-to-back champions. So it is changing, but Rome wasn't built in a day, right?
Preach.
So if we win a Super Bowl, the narrative will be dead because they can no longer say the Falcons cannot win the big one. And I think when that narrative dies, you'll see a lot of undercover Falcons fans come back from hiding. Because I do think a lot of folks are hurt behind that 2016. I know folks who stopped watching the Falcons after that. It's a real thing. And I'm not saying it's deserved or not, right? I'm not here to make any, I'm not here to tell you who to follow or whatever. That's your belief system. I'm simply saying that the narrative that the Falcons choke when it matters most is real. And a lot of fans feel that. Look, I rep my city. I got more Falcons shirts and jerseys than anybody. But every now and then I run into a Saints fan, a New England fan who's like, 28-3, 28-3. And it's a real thing, right? Now, it doesn't bother me because I don't require anybody's approval. I'm 54 years old. I don't care what you think of me. I love my Falcons. We'll love them till the day I die.
Always.
But everybody's not that self-assured or Falcons assured, right? So if we want to build this culture, right? We want to build this nomenclature and support for the Falcons, we got to win a Super Bowl, man. We got to win a Super Bowl. Got to do it. You do that, you'll have a lot more. You'll have a younger generation that's now interested, right? You and you'll start new traditions. But that's, that's, in my opinion, the only way you're going to do it. It's just my opinion. So those are my thoughts. Jake from State Farm. What are yours regarding that?
Falcon fans, as a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, once again, I want to see my team win. I want to see my team be great. I've been to cities all over the NFL during game week, game day, however you want to say it.
Got to grab a charger.
I want this team to come back. I I want this team to be alive. I want our fan base to be alive to a point where, going to a football game on Sunday is everything for this city in Atlanta. You want people to go into Atlanta and say, oh, this is a football town. You know what I'm saying? Like, these folks out here, they want to go and watch the Falcons play. They're going to put on their jerseys. They're going to show up in their seats. They're going to make a bunch of noise, and we're going to win the game. And regardless of the outcome, too, like Smitty, you said, Cleveland Brown fans, they're super passionate, too, as well. When I was in Cleveland a couple years ago, to hear that they opened up the tailgates like the night before so Browns fans can come in there to go park and get their tailgate set up is like, holy shit. Like, Browns fans don't need a championship to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? To go to Seattle and to see all the fans standing on their feet. Matter of fact, as we're talking about this, I have the picture. Mr. Terry.
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm on my little rant right now. So I had to go ahead and post it. You see the picture?
I see it.
Yes, they got my pregame access on right here.
I see it.
You see everybody standing up?
Yeah.
That's the second fucking quarter.
I see it. But let me ask you a question. How many transient folks are there in Cincinnati? Like, what's the population of folks who are not from there versus the population of folks who are there? I guarantee you it's not what it is in Atlanta. What's the transient population in Seattle? I guarantee you it's not what it is in Atlanta, right? So I hear you, but and again, no disrespect to those cities and states. I'm not trying to do that.
Yes.
But to me, Atlanta is more of an evolved city. There's so many more bells and whistles here than I would say in a Cincinnati. Now, I don't know about Seattle. Seattle's a big city, but I'm simply saying that our issue with fandom, to me, is germane or unique to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Because Atlanta is a city unlike other cities in the world where people come here for entertainment. Atlanta is, you may as well call it the Hollywood of the South, right? So it's not just a sporting community, it's an entertainment community, right? There's a lot more going on here. And I think, again, one thing that unites everybody is winning. So to the extent that we go out and we get one, and it just has to be one. I'm not greedy. I'm not saying we got to win 4 in a row. But if we win a Super Bowl, I can promise you that next year you will see a plethora of jerseys, Falcons jerseys and hats and car
flags, everything, banners, everything.
All of that next year. And you'll probably begin to be able to track a following. Exactly. And I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that. But to his point, there you go. Right? There you go.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. That is right, Ken. In the 80s, you can see the pictures from the Falcons back in Fulton County Stadium in the early days. There was Falcon fans all over the stadium too as well. And it was cool to see some of the Falcons pictures, the old ones, because you'll get Falcon fans who was like wearing like the jacket zipped up to the top, didn't have on like a jersey, but they had on like the one Falcon hat, and you knew there was a Falcon fan. It was just great to see some of those pictures too as well. Those Jerry Glanville type of fans too as well. It was just great to see the old pictures from the Falcons. Now this new Falcons team, what Terry has talked about with the hostile environment, that's what I'm preaching about here. I want fans to really put on, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to the store tomorrow, randomly, grab a Falcon jersey, man. You know what I'm saying? You might put on a regular t-shirt that says, PlayStation. Man, put on a Falcon shirt, man. You might have other fans looking like, oh, there goes a Falcon fan. There goes a Falcon fan. You want more fans just to be shown out here, because I done been to cities on some regular shit, and they just got the fandom. What did Cincinnati win? Cincinnati ain't win nothing, but they packing out their stadiums every week. You saw the video when they were in New Orleans last year with the orange and black walking down the street, taking over shit. What Cleveland win? Cleveland ain't win nothing, but they still sun out their games and showing up and supporting their fan base. What the Buffalo Bills win? They ain't win nothing, but Bills Mafia still ran crazy in these streets right now, because fans are really looking at it like, they're trying to make noise and they're trying to represent for their city. And I've been to a lot of cities too as well. And I just want to see the Atlanta Falcons fans just put on more, rep harder more, because, like you said, there's a lot of transplant in this city. there's a Giants fan that lives next door to me, a Cowboys fan lives on the other side. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And they're from those places. They're not from Atlanta. They're from those places. But for me, they know that there's a Falcon flag right there. You feel what I'm saying? They see the car flags. They see when I'm out game day in the morning and when we getting up, I'm going, you can't go to the game, because you don't live in Atlanta, you don't live in New York, you don't live in Dallas, motherfucker. I can go to the games. I'm living in Atlanta. So I understand what it is, Terry, and I definitely agree with you.
Look, we just got to keep repping, right? Because let me tell you something. You know, I'm not a professional athlete. I have played recreationally, and I've won some championships. And one thing I can tell you, the best championship you'll ever win will be with the team that you struggle with the most. That's for anybody, right? So if you could just go play on a team and you win a championship that year, you're gonna like it. But there's no substitute for a team that you played on for 5 years and you sucked the first 2 and you got to the playoffs the next one and you finally culminated in hoisting the championship trophy that 5th year, and you've seen those guys struggle and they know you're struggling. There's nothing like that, right? And there won't be a better feeling amongst anybody than when the Falcons win the Super Bowl. That may be national news for a week. Because I guarantee you, if we ever make it back to a Super Bowl, all they'll talk about is 28-3. So, let's go pick up some T-shirts. I'm all about that. But at the end of the day, guys, let's be about the business of winning, right? Because winning cures everything. Guess what? We win a Super Bowl, it doesn't matter. 28-3 doesn't matter, right? 2012 when we lost to San Francisco doesn't matter. 1980 when we lost to the Cowboys doesn't matter. If in 2024, 2025, 2026 we win a Super Bowl, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anything. So I'm about that, right? We're about that. We're about winning. We're about positivity. Let's go get it. And you know what? There's plenty of room on this train, right? So anybody that want to come on and be Falcons fans, we'll take you. We'll take you. That's just my opinion.
Falcon fans, you gotta hit that like, you gotta hit that share, you gotta hit the subscribe button. Now you guys see why T Will's here on the podcast. Conversations with T Will just end up like, man, I'm about to go read my Bible, man. I'm gonna pray for these Falcons. Because we got people like Terry here, Chase, Kiki, Bodie. You see the chat, Terry. There's a passion from all of us as fans.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you said it. You know, when me, Chase, and Bodie were talking the other day, you said it. What we're all saying is all agreeing to what? Winning.
Yeah. So we're trying to do.
Winning. Chase is saying his point. Bodie's saying his point. Kiki's saying her point. I'm saying my point. And then Terry comes in the chat. Nice little message for everybody. I think everybody's just talking about winning here. It's just different elements of how we're going to win.
It's different paths, right? It's different paths to getting there, you know?
And then everybody sat in the chat and then it was like, you know, Terry's right. Yeah. After 2 hours of talking, right? Terry was like, oh, Terry's right.
Yeah. I mean, we're look, let me tell you something. Nobody will be happier than me. Nobody will be happier than me when we win a Super Bowl. My dad died 2020. Diehard Falcons fans. Victor, you out there, you know what I'm talking about. That's my other brother. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna go visit his ashes, man. We ever win, I'm gonna go visit his ashes. I'm gonna have a beer with my dad. I would probably shed some tears. I would probably be drunk off my you know what, but let me tell you something. That's a communal thing, right? I mean, at the end of the day, if you really want to know why people that are from here don't rep the Falcons, they're hurt.
Yeah.
They're hurt. That's all it boils down to. They're hurt and they don't want to be ridiculed. Now, I've always been, I don't care, right? I'm going to rep my Falcons. I'm going to rep my Braves. I'm going to rep whatever. But for those people, man, I can't wait for us to win a Super Bowl because they're going to come on back. They're going to come on back. I promise you, they're going to come on back. You're going to see more Falcons fans than you ever have in your life the year after we win the Super Bowl. And that's what I'm waiting for. But again,
you remember the big jump when we went to the Super Bowl on social media? I think we hit over like 2 million fans quickly as following the Falcons. And I remember seeing it like, wait a minute, when the fuck we get over 1 million plus fans liking us on social media? And then there was you couldn't find merchandise in any store.
Absolutely.
You had to go to a corner of a gas station somewhere because all the damn vendors, all the boosters then showed up, then bought all the fucking Falcons gear and set up shop on the corner. I remember just driving around like, Hey, I need some car flags. Who the fuck? Hey man, how much you got for them car flags?
Yeah.
25 for both?
It's
25
real.
a piece? Fuck you, man. Hey, how much you got for them car flags over there? And shit, he talking about 25. He said 25p. And we got a shirt too. Shit, man, goddamn, whipping it bit. Hey, let me get how much for them shirts too.
It's real.
These came from Target.
Yeah, they did. But
they bought up all this shit because the Falcons were going to the Super Bowl. So that feeling of winning is going to come back here in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Lisa Shepard knows it. Terry, you know it. Everybody.
There you go, Lisa. There you go, Lisa. That's what I'm talking about. There you go. Yeah, but again, we'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We went 15 minutes over the grace period. Normally it's an hour and 15 minutes, but now we're at an hour and 30 because fans here in the chat just love talking Falcons football. We will continue putting comments on the screen and, talking about everybody's, questions and concerns about the team, because one time for the fan is fans who rep the Falcons talking to Falcons fans who rep the Falcons. And there's a Jaguars fan in the chat. Don't know how he gets here, but he's here. But otherwise than that, we've had a great time talking Falcons football tonight. A big shout out to Bodie and Kiki, who can't be here with us tonight. They was here. Bodie was here with us the other night.
Yes,
Kiki
he
should
was.
be back here shortly too as well. You see Kiki chatting all the time on social media too as well. Chase from Dirty Fanatics United joining us tonight talking Falcons football. The chat is live. The chat is lit. What we do here at One Time for the Fan, as you can see for the past couple, years or so, or a year and a half of us doing it, we don't bash the team. We don't bash the players. We might crack some jokes every now and then, but who can't crack a joke about a player or two? At the end of the day, we're not players, and we respect the players because they go out there and they put on for the city, and they're trying to get us a championship and make us feel good about conversations at 4:30 p.m. when you just beat the Bucks, right? So a guy like Jonnu Smith, once again, hats off to him. Thank you so much for everything. And any other player who we're going to be seeing here in a matter of days who's not going to be with the Falcons, thank you too as well. For the new players who's going to be joining the Falcons in a couple of weeks, big shout out to you all. For the rookies that's going to be joining us here, let's go win a championship. It's going to be great. But yes, we just want to win, Falcons fans. We just want to win. April Thomas said, do you think Justin Fields coming to us? It's very much so likely that he's going to end up here in Atlanta right now. And that's not Russell. That's not One Time for the Fans saying, oh, yes, he's going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
We're just going off of what their rumor shows entitled Rumors tonight. Mm-hmm. And the rumors has it that Justin Fields is linked, is targeted to Atlanta. What could he do when he gets here? We'll talk about that when he gets here. Drake, your statement says 31 watching on YouTube, only 13 likes. Y'all get them likes up. Drake, here's another thing that's crazy too. The YouTube numbers are kind of crazy because I don't know if people. I guess if you're watching on your phone and you're not commenting, and you know how you're scrolling and you press like the volume button to listen, but if you click it, you go into the chat. So YouTube sometimes, I guess, won't count that as a view, but Facebook would, I guess. So Facebook would show that there's 20 people in the chat watching, but I would go look down and see the comments that there's well more than 20 people from Facebook in the chat watching. Same thing for YouTube. They might say that there's 17 people watching, but there's really 37 people watching. But numbers jump all the time. What we want to do here is make sure that you guys enjoy the podcast, right? Even if it's 2 people watching, 10 people watching, 100 people watching, we want to make sure you guys enjoy the podcast. So that's why we do continuously talk about Falcons all the time. We don't do politics. We don't do, too much other stuff. It's all about the Atlanta Falcons here on One Time for the Fan. Terry, to get ready to wrap up the show, any shout outs for tonight, my good brother?
Shout out to my family, my mom, everybody. Shout out to the fans in this chat. Really enjoying y'all. And shout out to all the Falcons fans. Shout out to Chase. Big ups. Enjoyed you on the show. And last and definitely not least, shout out to you, sir. I wouldn't be here without you. And as long as you keep inviting me, I'll keep coming back.
Man.
There you go.
It's going down in a major way. The Falconator, diehard Falcon fan. Hold on. The Falconator taking pictures with Jesse Bates. Need to get him on the podcast. He might know something. The Falconator said, would you rather us watch on Facebook or YouTube? I don't trip on either one of them. Just if you can, go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and then whatever you feel more comfortable on doing. I know some people have YouTube Red, so they like to listen to the podcast and then go about doing other things on their phone. So they can do that if they have that YouTube Premium or if they set it up a certain type of way, I guess. And then there's some fans that just like to sit there on Facebook. I talked to a fan the other day and said, hey, man, I sat there and watched y'all for 2 whole hours. Like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? They said, did you enjoy it? You said, y'all talked everything good until y'all mentioned that Justin Fields guy. And I was like, fuck this shit. You know, but it is what it is. Like Hal Poole will tell you, we'll talk Falcons. And then once Hal Poole says F Matt Ryan, he means it. You know, so some fans have their take of what they want. Some fans have their take of what we should do, you know, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure we bring content to you all so you can enjoy it. Lisa Shepard, you know where I am, Lisa Shepard 24/7. I'm diehard Atlanta Falcon. If it's an away game, I'm there. If it's training camp, I'm there. If it's a fucking Publix giveaway, I might be there too as well. Because I just have that diehard Falcon fan. I don't know, whatever. You know, it's just all day. But yeah, it's been a big blessing to be here on this show. Terry, you too as well. Chase, Kiki, Bodie. A shout out to everybody in the chat. Feel free to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Head over to YouTube. You know, and tell your Falcons friends about us. A lot of Rise Up Tour members in here tonight. Of course, you guys know the schedule will be dropping really soon for our Rise Up Tour members. We've been planning a lot, so we want to make sure you guys can enjoy these away game experiences. And we just had some great news today that we just can't share until the schedule drops. But we want fans to be excited, so make sure you guys head on over to get your memberships. Memberships. If you're going on the road this year, head on over to the Rise Up Tour group. You can use the promo code one time for the fan at the checkout. You get a nice little discount from your membership there too as well. I set that up. That's right. I set that up. I put the code in. Thomas said, what you doing? I said, don't worry about it. Yep, it's encrypted. There you go. Promo code one time for the fan at checkout. So Falcon fans, if you guys are heading on the road this year, you guys want to be a part of something special, we can't wait to really show what we have in store for you all. Chat has been live. Chat has been lit. I thank you all for tonight. Terry, in the words of Raheem Morris, we wouldn't be here if there was better quarterback play.